Guys, stop for a minute. Take a look at your wallet. Your wallet says a lot about you. And let me ask you a question. Is it time for an upgrade? Our friends at Ridge are here to help you step up your pocket game. This incredible wallet is light, sleek, and industrial, but it doesn't fold or awkwardly bulge out of your back pocket. It goes into your front pocket. Ridge wallets pull up to 12 cards, plus all the cash that you need. You can choose from over 30 colors and styles. That includes carbon fiber and burnt titanium. It is the best wallet you can buy, and you don't just have to take my word for it because there's over 40,000 five-star reviews. I was skeptical at first, but once I tried it, I never went back, and I'm sure you won't, but guys, there's no pressure. Test it out for 45 days. If you don't love it, send it back, get a full refund. If you decide to keep it, and you will, there's a lifetime warranty. Go to ridge.com/Chael or just click the link in the description below and get 10% off with free worldwide shipping and returns.
We got to talk about Ian, and we got to get something fixed, and I mean now. We got to get something straightened out, and I mean yesterday, okay? Let me think of an example, and I'll come back to Ian. All the greats that you look up to, and I'm talking the greats, the Mike Tysons, the Tiger Woods, the Simone Biles, the greats, LeBron James. They have somebody else that they look up to. They have, as great as you think they are, they have somebody that they feel that same way about. Allow me to give you a scenario on LeBron James, right? LeBron James, everywhere I go, I'm hearing this, it's very silly, but it exists, and it's great for LeBron, and it's great for Jordan, but it's a debate amongst aficionados and basketball pundits everywhere of who is the greater player, LeBron or Jordan. That's great for those guys, right? You know what a compliment it was for Mike Tyson when people started saying, who was the best, you or Muhammad Ali? Could you imagine? Imagine the spot you're in. What has happened with that question is everyone else to have ever done it has now been eliminated. Now, whether you get the one spot like you're hoping for, or you come in with the two spot, to ever have done it, you can live with it, right? Either way that you go. So when it finally got broken down, right, to Chuck Norris, hey, who was better, you or Bruce Lee? Like, it just wiped all of the Van Dams and the Segals, all the Jeff Speakmans of the world right off the map. They don't exist anymore. Jackie Chan didn't even get a spot at the dance. It's very relevant. But let me just give you a scenario for LeBron. Let's say LeBron coming up. We know he looked up to somebody. We know he admired somebody. That's why you want to become a basketball player, because you saw somebody else that you wanted to be aspired to be like. Let's say that person was Michael Jordan. It likely was. But let's say it was. LeBron probably has a pair of Air Jordans, and he would have a story on how he got his first pair. Whether he begged his parents or he washed cars on the weekends or got an extra job in the summertime, whatever it was, he'd have a story about those. And he likely has a picture of Air Jordan flying over a bunch of bums, slamming a basket in, right? Like so many other people had, hanging on their wall, wearing that Bulls jersey, number 23. If that had come out, if it had come out that LeBron was a Jordan fan, a nut hugger, there's no way that he would have ever passed up Jordan. Jordan could have had one championship and LeBron had 100. If LeBron has a poster of Jordan on his wall and his most coveted pair of sneakers ever are Air Jordans, he will never, in public perception, pass Jordan. Even if you come out and you go, well, wait a minute, he only got one championship, you've got 100. He'll never pass him in public perception. It will now be over. It will be over. The debate will be settled. It won't be a way to say LeBron or Jordan. It will for sure be LeBron. Do you understand? Or for sure be Jordan. Do you understand the point? You got to be really careful when you do that. Let me give you a different example. There has never been a man elected president. That's not a political statement because it can be either party. There's never been a man elected president who in the course of his speeches discusses for you, the audience, what he perceives to be a better man. It's never happened. Well, guys, hey, I'm happy to lead, and I got a real good track record with judgment. Got some beautiful degrees and some great people around me. And if Timmy over here, if he doesn't want to do it, then I probably am your next choice. And Certainly look forward to seeing what your answer is. It's not going to work. It can't work, right? You can't be the guy when you're walking around talking about somebody else being the guy. Now, I only bring this to you because Ian Garry is as good of a stand-up fighter as I've seen. Now, he might be as good of a fighter as I've seen. He might be. I'm going to leave a little bit more time. And I don't know about the well-roundedness, but the only reason I don't know about it is he hasn't shown it because he hasn't had to. He hasn't elected to go to the ground. He hasn't elected to scramble, show guard work. He's elected to stay on his feet. And the fact that he's been able to, that nobody can take him off his feet, nobody can take him down, I think it really speaks volumes to him. I give him a lot of credit for that. But in the stand-up range, this is the only place I've seen him. When I tell you he's as good as this sport has ever had, I don't say it with an exaggeration. We had guys that are real good with kicks. Now, they can use their hands just fine, but that's going to set up the kicks, or vice versa. Guys are real good with their hands. They'll put a kick in there every now and then. He's equally as dangerous with his hands as he is with his feet. His defense, which you're likely to not be noticing yet. You're just seeing his finishes. You're seeing his offense. His defense is on point, and his setups are better yet. There is never an attack, whether it's with the elbow, the knee, the foot, or the hand. There has never been an attack by Ian Garry where it is not set up first. Oh, by the way, he sets them all up the same way. He's got the same movement. I'll leave it at that. The opponents are going to have to go find what it is. But every single day, it's a tell. He telegraphs that he's about to attack you. You just don't know what attack it is because it's the same setup. That's what's so interesting about it. Most guys have 3 to 5 setups. But those setups are assigned to a tactic. The guy doesn't know that he's doing it. But if the guy feints his left hand, he's throwing his right. If the guy shifts his hips, he's getting ready to land an elbow. He's got tells that you'll pick up with your coach watching video in training camp. Gary's different. Garry has one setup. And he does it for no matter what attack he's going to do. So he does telegraph. He does let you know something's coming. You just don't know what it is, and the opponents are freezing. They know something's coming, so they freeze. They don't know if they need to raise their hand, if they need to pull, if they need to cover, if they need to raise a shin. They don't know what to do. They just know an attack is coming. I don't think Garry means to do that at all. I think that is a byproduct. I don't think he at all thought, I'm just going to do one setup, but 5 different attacks, and that'll make me different. I think it just happened on accident. Either way, this is where we are. What's the problem? The problem is, I don't know where to elevate Garry. I don't know. I just know there is a cap. And for most athletes, particularly ones that are undefeated, particularly ones that are handsome and well-spoken and getting interview time, there's no ceiling. You don't know how far they can go. I do know with Garry because he's told me, and it's McGregor. McGregor is his cap. He can't go above that. He might be fine with that. He might say, Chael, run me right alongside Conor. I'll sign up for that now. Okay, maybe. But it's a cap nonetheless. Now, it was done. It was very respectful. It was a part of his shtick. I don't blame him for doing it. I think he'd probably make Conor feel really good. I'm just sharing with you the byproduct. The byproduct with the Conor McGregor every single time is that there's your cap. There's your ceiling. There's your roof. How good of a guy are you? Well, you're not better than him. He's your idol. He's been arrested 3 times in the last 3 days. I mean, right, it's one of these things where you gotta be a little bit careful who you're telling people your idol is. And it appears that Garry could be better. No disrespect on that. The next generation is always better than the previous. We have a habit as human beings to put the previous generation in front of our own, but history says different. It's never actually that way. People only get better. Sports only get better. Athletes only evolve. I'm not attempting to compare Garry and McGregor. I'm really not. But I am sharing with you, if you want to look at whose record is better, it's Garry's. And if you want to look at who's going to have more fights and more shelf life and more time, it's Garry. And if you want to talk about who is more likely to fight for a world championship ever again in this life, it's Garry. And if you want to talk about who's won more in the last 2 years, it's Garry. There's no metric you could come to where it isn't Garry, but Garry says it's McGregor. Now, again, please, you know I'm a supporter. I'm a supporter of Conor, but I will share with you, it's a problem from a marketing standpoint. The marketing was good. Associate yourself, get some tweets coming back, show that you're Conor's buddy. There's something to that. Once you're an undefeated guy that breaks into the top 15, I mean, there's nobody more surprised that Garry's winning except for Garry. Garry's out there selling confidence, and then he's letting us all know that he's shocked that he wins. It doesn't work. Garry's letting us all know how great I am. I'm never nervous. I don't fear any man. I love to do this. He's selling confidence. Same thing that Conor sold. And then he goes and tattoos a 15 on his body because he broke into the top 15. There isn't a person alive that respects the top 15. When I was growing up, it was only top 10. I don't even know where this 15 came from. I'm just sharing for you. Are you confident or aren't you? Are you a future world champion, at least within your own mind, or are you content with being in the top 15? And these are very fair questions. And the most recent time that we saw this was Chimaev. So there's this young man, he's 24 years old, Dagestani, Chechenian region, by way of Sweden, beautiful reputation. And he's calling himself Khabib 2.0. Now, on one hand, Khabib 2.0 means I'm Khabib, but better. That part I could live with from marketing. But that wasn't what Chimaev was saying, man. This is my idol. This is my guy. I fight just like Khabib. I'm just like Khabib. And he was saying these things. He goes from no fights in the organization to 2 fights in 8 days, both victories inside of 5 minutes. He's on the tip of everybody's tongue. The first thing he had to do is get rid of the moniker that he gave himself, Khabib 2.0, and he did. And he was so paranoid to get rid of that stigma that he created that he dropped the sit and called Khabib out. He said, no, I'm not like Khabib. I'm better than Khabib. I want to fight Khabib. I will smash Khabib. He had to do that, though. It bothered Khabib. They ended up having a face-to-face. However they settled, that was between them. That is subsequent to the point that I'm making, which is 100% about marketing. Garry's a damn good fighter. He's an undefeated fighter. He's got a hell of a lot better record as of recent than the person that he's putting over. Does he believe he can be world champion or not? Because I did believe that he could be. I did. Until I found out that he's content with 15. 15's an embarrassment. I'm not trying to take away, right? You guys that did it, good for you. It wasn't even an option for me. When I was fighting back when men were men, we didn't go to 15. I'll tell you that much. We did not go to 15. That is silly. And now I got a guy that's happy with it. He's happy with it. He's going to take that with him for the rest of his life. Is he content? Is he done? Does he not believe he's 14? Is 13 an aspiration? Top 12, almost out of reach? I mean, where are we at? I'm just asking the question. He'd come out and answer it and say, Chael, you got this all wrong. No, I don't have any of it wrong because it's marketing. I didn't say it was reality. I didn't say it was true. I said it's perception. It's marketing. And you chose to market yourself as a nut hugger to a guy who isn't licensed.